Hi, it's Adam from RC Action Australia. How's everybody out there today? So on today's video, guys, I'm just going to show you some of the things that have arrived in the past week and a few of the projects and cars that I have found and obviously have made their way to RC Action Australia. So kicking it off, guys, I'm probably going to just briefly tell you about some of the things we have purchased. So we'll start off, I mentioned in one of my other videos that I had purchased a MF01X. That is obviously has the Suzuki Jimny body. Now this is the car here, guys. I bought it as a used second-hand car. It's actually not in that bad a condition. I have started to strip it and did notice a few little bits and pieces that needed replacing and whatnot, and obviously in doing that I've bought a few upgrades. Now there was a few little tiny pieces like a dust cover missing off the back of the gearbox, so I found these on eBay, Tony's Tamiya Parts. That's a full chassis A parts kit, so I'm probably going to put a complete new chassis on this car just because I did manage to find the parts. The body that I received with the car was painted quite well. It didn't have any damage, but it was painted this bright orange colour, and I ended up selling that and recouped a fair bit of money from doing that to buy a new body. So again, Tony's Tamiya Parts, I managed to pick up a brand new decal set there, guys, for the Jimny. And the other problem too was the other body had no decals and the previous owner had lost them. I picked up a brand new Jimny body, again from Tony's Tamiya Parts, and the other body was also missing like the mirrors and some of these support brackets. So again, picked these up for relatively very cheap from Tony's Tamiya Parts. Now I also, because I have some of TL01 cars and quite a number of parts for those cars, I did notice that the high-speed gear set that is in the TL01 also fits the MF01X. And if anyone's wondering, the actual complete gear set is exactly the same in both cars, so that's something to take into account. And what else did we get? So that's that car pretty much done, guys. I also picked up, just because I saw them on eBay quite cheap, and I think they were about $7, some of these driver buggy sets, and obviously with that too you get the headlamps. So I do have a few cars that I probably wouldn't mind putting some headlamps on, plus some cars maybe like the Manta Ray and the Top Force Evo build that I did, just to maybe put a driver figure in them. I'm not sure, so I picked those up for that. If you haven't checked those videos, guys, check the links above. Obviously the Top Force I converted into an Evo, which is behind me, and obviously the Manta Ray I converted into the Terra Conqueror. Now moving on, I also picked up some vintage rally driver sets for my TB01 German rally car. So picked those up for next to nothing. I actually did a swap with one of my friends for some parts, and he gave me those in exchange for some excess wheels and whatnot. A good friend of mine was starting to sell some of his new old parts, so I've gotten myself some of these gold Thundershot gold-plated wheels, and I actually do have another 3 pairs of these, so I've got 2 complete sets, and I'm probably thinking of when the Terra Scorcher arrives, I will probably build up one with the gold wheels. And if you haven't checked my other videos, guys, check the link above for my recent Terra Scorcher review. obviously, you know, I may put these on one of my other cars or one of my shelf display cars. So that's those guys. While we're talking Terra Scorcher, I managed to find myself an original set of Terra Scorcher decals, and I basically did that because my Terra Scorcher that I do run, the body is damaged, and look, I'm not interested in putting these decals on that car, but it's always handy just to have a nice new set of decals. If I do get another body, seeing that the re-release is coming out in a couple of months, parts should be available, I may buy another body and do up another body. So that's those guys. And if you haven't noticed, I've got a few kits behind me that have arrived. So we've got the Tamiya TL01 Ferrari 360 Medina Challenge. Now, I already have one of these cars, which is this one here. And this is an original. It's been used. There's a little bit of damage on the front, whatnot. But I think that they're a nice looking body shell. And obviously this car is very much original, as you can see, with the manual speed controller and old radio gear setup. This car is in really good condition, as you can see. So why did I buy this brand new in-box kit when I already have one? Pretty much because this body's had a bit of use, and I still do use this car. It's very fun to use. I've seen those bodies sell for well over $100, and I've seen the decals sell for well over $100. I actually picked up this complete brand new kit, brand new body, brand new decals, everything's brand new, for just over $100. So it's one of those things where you don't really need it, but for probably trying to restore this to dead original and get the decals, previous owner had painted this, obviously. The red's not quite correct, they've backed it with a darker colour, so pretty much just got that kit because as a lot of people do for parts and maybe restoration project. This is one car that I've been waiting for quite some time, guys, is the Mercedes CC02 G-Wagon. Now, I had a CC01 and I was pretty well unimpressed with the car. You know, it was a crawler, but really it was not really, you know, the chassis was not really a crawler chassis. It had more of a touring car front suspension setup, whereas the CC02 has a full 4-link. It does seem to have a better ground clearance. The suspension seems softer, and just from a few videos that I've seen on some other channels, it does seem to be a better sort of mid-range crawler rather than a pretty basic crawler that the CC01 was. Now, I don't do a lot of crawling, I don't have huge areas for it, but I've just sort of purchased this because I do live near a reserve and I wouldn't mind something just to take up there and switch the content up a little bit, guys. So, obviously with this car too, the standard wheels and tyres is probably what does inhibit this car. They're more on-road sort of tyres. So in that, I have actually ordered some parts for this car. I've ordered a bearing set, and I've ordered the mud block soft off-road tyres, which should give me some more bigger sidewall. They're softer and should give me some better off-road capabilities for this chassis. So I'll leave it there for this video, guys. As you can see, we've got lots of parts arrived. We've got lots of projects to work on now. Thank you very much for watching. As always, hit like, hit subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. Your support is very much appreciated. And down in the comments below, guys, let me know what you want to see on the channel next. Do you want to see the MF01X restored, or do you want to see the Mercedes CC02 built? So for me next, I'm probably going to go down the road of the Jimny here, just because I'm still waiting on a few parts for this car that I want to put on it as I build it. But I just need my oil dampers for this car, and then we're good to go. So I'll leave it probably another day or two. If the dampers don't arrive, I do have some other sets that I've just freshly built for some other projects, so I can use that on this car, and then obviously put the new ones that I've been waiting for onto my other projects. So probably next video is going to be a look at this car, a strip down, show you what's inside of this, because I actually was blown away as to what was actually in the gearboxes of this car. No, it wasn't dirt. It was actually the diff upgrades that have been done. So until the next video, guys, that's probably where we're going. But as I said, hit like, hit subscribe, chuck the comments down below.